Yay, I'm back. I'm back. Cheese. What is up, my beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. It's Keara, aka Keara. You already know what this is. This is a part 2 of reacting to your coming out stories. I'm so excited. I made a part 1 to this video like a month or 2 ago, and I still had so many coming out stories that I hadn't gotten to, so I wanted to make a part 2. And y'all have been submitting like extra coming out stories since that video came out, just to like put it in my next video, so I took from those as well. You guys sent me your coming out stories on Instagram. Thank you so much again for sending them all in. Some of them are very vulnerable and some of them are very emotional and sad. So thank you for trusting me with your stories. And if you haven't followed me on Instagram yet, you should go do that right now. It's Keara Graves. And if you haven't followed me on TikTok yet, what you doing? Go do it right now. Oh, if you're new to my channel, my pronouns are they, them, and she, her. Okay, I always forget to say that in videos, but I probably should because it's important. If you haven't seen my earlier video, I will link it below, and I will also put it in one of these corners right now so you can go watch it after this video. I shared a Spotify account with my dad and sister. When I discovered Iacocca, I listened to Girls Like Girls so many times that it was the top song on my Spotify Wrapped. That was my top song if Spotify Wrapped existed in 2016. My best friend and I used to watch all the Iacocca music videos in the back of our religion class. Religion class! This teacher didn't give a fuck, by the way. He didn't give a shit what we were doing in that class. He was the best because like he never cared what we were doing in the class. So anyway, we used to watch gay ass music videos in the back of our Catholic religion class. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. I panicked and emailed Spotify from the account asking them to delete it, but they said they couldn't and sent a response email to my dad's email. I deleted the email on his computer but couldn't get to his phone in time. And he read the email out one mealtime. Why at mealtime? Saying, who has been emailing Spotify asking them to delete Girls Like Girls? I made up some bullshit about how if you try and delete the song, then they email you a response. I think he believed it. So you were like,
I saw this on Spotify and thought it was despicable that they had a song called Girls Like Girls, so I emailed Spotify asking them to take it down.
He probably like knew you were bullshitting, but he was just gonna make you feel better by just going along with what you were saying. Story time! Okay, so I came out to my crush in high school. We were friends back then and she was in the final year. Head girl of the school, Miss Popular, but not in a mean girl's way. I love how you guys have like head girl and head boy. Like I feel like you only hear that in like Harry Potter. We don't have that in Canada. We're not that cool. I'm getting so distracted. She was the nicest, funniest, most attractive person. We were friends but not super close, and I tried for months to get rid of the crush because of course she's straight. Of course. How I came out to her was using that really cheesy periodic table joke of having 83 protons or something because I was bi. Wait, what? Sorry, I don't know science or math. Hold on. Lauren, can you help me with something? There's a science joke in this and I don't get it. Do you get that?
Yeah.
What is it?
Each like element has like a certain amount of protons.
I still don't get it. Sorry.
So basically that's just like the element is Bi. I don't know what it is.
Oh, the element's Bi.
Yeah.
Bismuth. Wait, isn't that like...
and it's the atomic
80...
number 83. That means that's how many protons it has. Yeah, so it's like,
I promise you I got straight A's in school. I just don't remember any of that shit. You know how like you either have like the math gene and the science gene, or you have the English and like history gene? Well, I have the English and history gene, so no one come at me. Okay, anyway, that's a good joke. I love that so much. I would find that hilarious if someone told me that joke. I left out the part where I had a massive gay crush on her. So she gets really happy and supportive, and we start texting way more often, which carries on for a few months. Until one day after school, we meet up and she unexpectedly pulls me up a stairwell where we are alone, and she says if she doesn't do this now, she doesn't know if she'll ever be brave enough to do it at all. pushes me against a wall, practically nervous, yells at me, "Are you okay?" I managed to nod my head because, you know, I'm in mild shock. No shit. And she kisses me. That's hot. Turns out me coming out to her helped kick her queer sexual awakening into gear. She also developed a crush on me and we were mutually pining. Oh God, I love the word pining. Talk about useless queers. Oh my God, I love that. Anyway, we've been together for 5 years now since that happened, and we're moving in together next year after our uni graduation. This is like everything I would have wanted as like a team. I'm so happy for you. I hope y'all are going strong still. This is like fucking adorable. This feels like it needs to be in like a TV show, like a queer TV show, you know? My present GF and I ended up coming out to our families on the same day. I had gone on about 3 dates with her and hadn't told my parents that I was living with at the time about this. I knew they'd be accepting, but still nervous, obviously. So we had a date where I was going to pick her up and we would go ice skating. I love skating dates. Before I had left my house to pick her up, she texted me and said she just came out to her mom and told her about the date. At that point, I was sick of lying to my mom too because I really liked this girl. So before I left to pick her up, I said, fuck it. I told my mom. We cried a bunch while she held me and was very accepting. Oh, that's so cute. I was so grateful that it went well, and because of this angel that is now my long-term girlfriend, I had come out to my family and started my journey of acceptance. Shut the fuck up right now. It also ended up being the day we had our first kiss. Little did she know she changed my life for the better, hee hee. And there's a picture. You guys are so cute together and both so beautiful too. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy for you. Hey, honey. This one might be emotional, so buckle up. I was closeted, but in a relationship with my ex-boyfriend. I had gotten drunk the previous night and I woke up at 6 a.m. and called him because I wasn't feeling well and he made me feel safe. I ended up having to throw up, so I went to the bathroom with him on FaceTime and my father ended up waking up and he knocked on the door and you could hear my ex speaking. I hung up in a panic and didn't know what to do. He ended up asking for my phone because I was refusing to give it to him because I was scared. My ex was texting me concerned and wanted to know if I was okay. And I ended up having to come out because he was going through our messages and my ex was a trans male, which my father could not get through his head. Why do parents always feel the need to, 1, go through their child's phones, and 2, read their child's journals? It makes me so mad. Like, if I was a parent, that is the last thing I would do. Because it's like, it's their own privacy. Like, why would you? I got yelled at for it, and I also got yelled at because I was in a hoodie and my underwear, so they assumed I had shown myself on camera. Sorry. My ex and I broke up about 2 months ago, but we're still best friends, and he's still a very important person in my life. My parents have gotten a bit more understanding, but there's times where they do things just because I'm omni. I just learned that word, actually. I didn't know what it was, but like a bunch of you were saying that you're omnisexual. I think it's similar to pansexual. Correct me if I'm wrong. Pan is that you don't really see the gender, and then omni is like you recognize the genders, but you still don't care. So it means like you love everyone, but like you still consider their gender. Correct me if I'm wrong. Coming out is hard, especially when forced, but I was very relieved afterwards because it was something I had on my chest for a long while. Yeah, honey, but you should have been able to come out when you were ready. That's a really traumatic experience and I'm really sorry. Parents should never force their child to come out to them because it's just like the #1 rule that like you shouldn't do. That can be a really hard environment to like live in. But just remember, like, you are valid in your sexuality. There's nothing wrong with you. Accepting yourself for who you are is such a beautiful thing. So please never let go of that, even though your parents are like trying to make fun of you for it. It's a really wonderful thing about you, so I hope that you embrace it. I told you some of these were emotional. Half of the time when kids come out to their parents, it's a negative reaction. When I came out to my certain family members, it was a negative reaction. That's just life, and like that's just reality right now, and like hopefully it changes in the future, like with our generation growing up and being parents, but some of our parents still have that like baby boomer mentality. I love you guys. I'm sorry about what you're going through. I'm here for you, and I had to go through shit too. I'm still going through shit. So at least we're in this together, right? Next confession. I was laying on the bed with my mom watching some Netflix, and after the episode ended I was like, so I like girls too. Like, I like boys, but I also definitely like girls. And my mom was like, OMG, me too. Slay mama. I told friend that I'm bi when we were teenagers, and she said it's just a phase, but I haven't changed my mind since then. Yes, queen. And I was like, OMG, I can't believe friend said that. I hope she doesn't think like that anymore. It basically became like a gossip session, spilling the tea. I love when you can be like best friends with your parent, like your mom or your dad, and like the relationship is just so comfortable that like you can talk to them about anything. And I love that. Oh, I'm so jealous. Next story. I was like 12 and I made a video with a filter. The filter was a lesbian flag and I was pointing to it, and I ended up showing her the video. I think you mean to say your mom? But I got scared and started crying. She hugged me and said that she loves me no matter what. Then my dad calls us upstairs and I was mid-crying. I ended up throwing water on my pants and pretending to pee myself, and that's why I was crying. He believed it. Quick thinking. What's something that has nothing to do with the gay, or, well, it could have to do with the gay, depending on where the water was, but. Anyway, to this day, my dad still doesn't support LGBTQ plus IA plus, what? LGBTQIA plus. So yeah, as long as you have one parent, that's important. Okay, I think this one is another emotional one, so buckle up. I was forced out of the closet when I started dating my ex-girlfriend in secret, and my family started to get suspicious. Family members threatened to keep me at our family farm where I would have to read the Bible until I was no longer possessed. Oh, Jesus Christ. So a DIY conversion camp. Everything bad that has happened in my life since then has been blamed on my sexuality, like my cat getting pink eye. My mom even came to my apartment to pour holy water on the walls. Family members didn't speak to me for months to a year, and now we just pretend it didn't happen. There's so much more that couldn't possibly fit in text, but thanks for letting me get it off my chest. Wow. Thanks for sharing that. That is... My parents and my family were religious, but like not to this point. Just makes me so mad when like people use religion as an excuse to not like love someone, especially someone in their family. Like, well, anyone. Using religion as an excuse to not open up your mind and like change your way of thinking is such a cowardly thing to do, and like, fuck, I'm so sorry. But it sounds like you have your own apartment, so at least like, you know, you're safe. But it's unfortunate when your family can't like accept you for everything that you are. And people think that like, oh, it's 2022, like no one's homophobic anymore, or like no one's racist anymore. It's like, yes, they are. Overall, it's gotten a little bit better, but like still, people still have these bigoted mindsets. This is why we still need to keep making content. We still need to spread awareness. We still need to spread love. Some people are like, Keara, oh my God, stop talking about gay shit. Like, you know, you're overdoing it, whatever. No, it's important. And like so many people are benefiting from me making this kind of content. So like, I don't give a fuck if you don't like my content. If you don't like my content, why are you watching it? Next. Okay, so this is going to be me coming out to my best friend. So basically we were talking on Snapchat and I texted her a joke that said basically, sometimes I think it'd be fun to live in the medieval times, but then I remember I'd probably get instantly burned at the stake. They'd be like, no, you and your wife can't use swords and overthrow the patriarchy. Then she said, wait, your wife? And then I said, yes. She goes, are you LGBTQ+? And I said, yes, I'm a lesbian, LOL. And she was so supportive and amazing, and I love my best friend so much. Aw, I love that. I'm so happy. Yeah, if I was living in the medieval times, like, first of all, they had hella pandemics. Like, you think COVID's bad? Like, medieval times was pretty much way worse, and they didn't have vaccines. And if you like had any type of spirituality that wasn't like Christianity, like you were considered a witch. Also, they had to like throw their poop out the window, didn't they? Anyway, so I came out as bisexual in 2015 or something. After a serious relationship with a guy, I tried dating another guy, but I found out that I'm not attracted to men at all, and my previous relationship was just really toxic. So after a few weeks of confusion and reading the lesbian master doc, yes, yo, that lesbian master doc changes so many people's lives every day. After reading the lesbian master doc, I made a cake for my parents to celebrate that they'll never have a son-in-law again. They are very accepting and saw it coming from miles away. My mom never liked the guys I dated, and my dad just enjoyed the cake a lot. This was the cake, by the way. I'm Dutch, but it translates to congratulations, you'll never have a son-in-law again. That's a cute ass cake. But I'm so happy you could like joke around with your family like that. I love it. Whoa, okay, next. I came out to my mom about 3 months ago, a whole year after I came out to myself and my friends, and she told me the weirdest thing. At first I thought she would kick me out of the house and disown me, but she told me this doesn't change anything between us, which I was so grateful for. But this wasn't even the craziest part. She then proceeded to tell me she actually suspected I was gay all along and that it was the reason we moved to the US 5 years ago. Dang. I always felt like I was different. I never had crushes on boys and always felt weird to dress girly. Well, now I know why. I guess my mom knew even before I did. So to sum up the story, she made me stress over telling her I was a lesbian for so long just for her to tell me she already knew. Where did you live before? Probably like a non-accepting country, because like the US is better than a lot of places, but it's still not the best, but it's, you know, that's wild. That is like true love. Like your mom wanted to protect you this whole time and like loves you so much that she would uproot your life and move you both to the US where you could be a bit more, you know, safe. Damn. Ah, I keep biting the inside of my cheek. Next, my best friend and I came out to our closest friends with a rainbow cake that read, "We're gay, not for each other though," in icing. Cute. We got them to sit down and close their eyes, but naturally one of my friends peeked and started screaming, running away, thinking we were pie facing them. The cake lied, BTW. We started dating a couple months later. That is a foreshadow. I feel like y'all already had those vibes. Like you probably already had a crush on each other. It was like, I feel like this happens with so many like sapphic relationships where like you both like each other, but like
You're just acting like you're friends because like no one wants to say anything.
and like you don't do anything about it for like months, but you both like each other that whole time. Next, my dad's family is super homophobic, but I had never heard my dad talk about LGBTQ+ issues or mention anything bad about it, so I wasn't sure how it would go. Then I started dating this girl and he asked who my boyfriend was. I kept it pretty vague, so he thought I was hiding something. Every time he came over to my place, he would go through drawers and make jokes like,
"Where are you hiding your boyfriend?"
one day he was really annoying with questions and he was pressing me about being pregnant and protected sex for some reason, and I just screamed, "I can't be fucking pregnant! Not now, not ever! My boyfriend's name is girl's name. I like girls and the whole point is that I can't get pregnant." Isn't that a wonderful thing about being gay? Everything went quiet. I wanted to die. But he ended up being super cool about it. To this day, this was the best bonding I've ever had with him. Oh my god. That's so funny. I always tell Lauren, like, I am so grateful that like we don't have to worry about being scared every time we have sex of like maybe a baby possibly coming out of it. Isn't it the best? Okay, so my first coming out experience was definitely wild. I had known for sure I was gay since February of my sophomore year of high school because I had suddenly realized I was secretly desperately in love with my straight best friend. She kissed me after a high school graduation party 3 years later and we dated on and off for a while, so it's safe to say she wasn't straight. Okay, yeah. I had stayed in the closet for months, terrified that someone would figure out I was gay because I grew up in the Mormon church and they didn't have a very cute track record when it came to homophobia. I can't even imagine. But December of my sophomore year, I was in my cousin's car with our friend. We'll call them Jenny and Jake respectively. There is a child screaming in my hallway. Again, so glad I can't get pregnant. I was kind of forced out of the closet, so my cousin Jenny was driving Jake and I home, and she asked us who we had crushes on because that's what you do in high school. Yeah, that is literally all you do in high school. But when Jake and I refused to disclose that info, Jenny started driving like a maniac. We were in Jake's neighborhood, but Jenny refused to stop at Jake's house and started running stop signs and speeding through a residential area, saying she refused to stop the car or let us out until Jake and I told her who we liked. So terrified for our lives and the lives of pedestrians, I admitted that I had a crush on my best friend who was another girl, and Jake admitted that he had a thing for another guy from another school that he had met at a debate competition. So the first time either of us had openly come out to anyone was out of coercion. What the fuck? I didn't even process how fucked up that whole thing was until recently. Jenny later outed me to my family, but that's a whole nother story. What is wrong with this bitch? I want to have a talking to with Jenny. Safe to say my coming out experience was pretty wild. I am concerned. I don't know, like, is Jenny out yet? Like, is she gay? Is she queer? I wanna know. That's messed up. I'm glad that you guys were safe though, but it's just like fucked up. Like, stop making people out themselves. Like, Next. So last year I had to do an animated short film about a topic that had something to do with inclusion. My team and I didn't know which one to choose, and I don't know why I chose bisexuality. You don't know why. It was a whole month I spent all of my time doing my research on the topic. I searched tons of articles and also watched many YouTube videos of LGBT content creators like you, Jessie Page and Georgia Bridgers, my homies. While I was doing my research, I began to notice that I related so much to all of you, so I started to accept that I like and love women, and that I actually feel way more comfortable dating women. Interesting. I love how that happened. It was such a like synchronistic process. Your higher self knew that like you had to go on this journey, so like that's how it led you to like understanding who you are. I love that, and I love that you watched our videos. Thank you. That is going to be my last one because this video is again extremely long, but thank you so much everyone for sharing your coming out stories with me again. I loved it so much. Let me know what you want to see next on my channel, and I love you. You are all valid and beautiful. Here's a hug, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah!